in Andamans. And this is a very, very rare photograph of him on the glass plate film of him actually in the prisoner attire. At cellular jail, that's a different story altogether. He faced probably one of the most inhuman punishments that anyone could have. 6 months of solitary confinement with standing, constant standing handcuffs. So there was no human contact whatsoever. His cell faced the gallows. So every time, all of the human contact that he had was of screaming men who were taken to the gallows to be hanged. And even basic human facilities like toilet and good food was not provided to him and also the other political prisoners of Alipur bomb case and others who were lodged at cellular jail. There were fixed times to go to the toilet. So most of them actually used to defecate in their cells and you had to stand. I'm sorry to narrate this, but I think this country needs to know.
370-35 पे निकाह हलाला और राम मंदिर पे एक तरफा फैसला और CAA आने के बाद इसने विदेश नीति बदल दी भारत की। कहा कि हमें जहां दुनिया में पता चलेगा कि भारत की प्रभुसत्ता पे कोई हमला करने वाला है, उसके हमला करने से पहले हम उस पे हमला कर देंगे।
We make a mistake then in converting our name from Bharat through India?
A serious mistake, because you need to understand this. Whenever somebody occupies a nation, any conquering forces, when they take over certain nations, first thing they will do is they'll change your name. This is the technology of dominance. This is the technology of enslaving. You must see, if you look at the African-American history, when African people were brought in, the first thing is, at the port, their names were changed. Whatever they had African names, they were taken away and some silly names will be given. That's what has been done to us. Thiruvananthapuram is Trivandrum, okay? Chennai is Madras. We don't know whether we're mad or we're rascals. Like this, India, what does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. So if I give you a meaningless name, you will become a meaningless, stupid person in front of me.
The Delhi Chief Minister made this comment when he said that, the Prime Minister's people tell me that he sleeps only 3 hours in a day and that's why he's so grumpy. He needs to sleep a little more.
See, we must understand, sleep means it's the downtime for the body. It's the maintenance time. So right now, doctors have been saying, you must sleep for 8 hours a day, otherwise your heart will… this will go happen, that will happen. 8 hours a day means you're sleeping away 1/3 of your life. 24 hours, 8 hours you're sleeping 1/3. Another 2 hours could be going in other kind of maintenance of eating, bathroom, this, that, whatever. So if 8 to 12 hours are going in maintenance, when are you going to live really? It's not efficient way of living. Anybody who says that if somebody needs to sleep more, that's a political ambition, I think.
का कनेक्शन इतना डीप है, आई थिंक अपने मन की बात कह पाना, लोगों की बातें सुनना, अपनी बात उन तक पहुंचा पाना, इससे ज़्यादा डीप कनेक्शन शायद नहीं हो सकता। मोदी जी को लोगों के साथ कनेक्टेड रहना था। आई थिंक दैट्स द साइन ऑफ अ ग्रेट लीडर। जो भी हिस्टोरिकली सबसे ग्रेटेस्ट लीडर्स, सबसे पॉपुलर लीडर्स रहे हैं, चाहे वो किंग्स हों, चाहे वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स हों, वो हमेशा लोगों के साथ कनेक्टेड रहे, एंड आई थिंक ये इतनी सिंपल सी चीज़ है, लेकिन इसका कनेक्शन इतना डीप है। आई थिंक अपने मन की बात कह पाना, लोगों की बातें सुनना, अपनी बात उन तक पहुंचा पाना, इससे ज़्यादा डीप कनेक्शन शायद नहीं हो सकता। तो इट्स अ फैंटास्टिक फॉर्मेट और बहुत ही अच्छा लगा मुझे सुन के। एंड आई फेल्ट वेरी फॉर्चुनेट कि मुझे यहाँ बुलाया गया और इस 100th एपिसोड ऑलमोस्ट 10 साल हो चुके हैं, 9.5 years. So it's fantastic that I was a part of this today and it's a privilege to be here.
What is your opinion about Foreign Minister Jaishankar as the Foreign Minister of India?
I think he's very good. I think he's extremely… You see, it's an extremely interesting decision that the Prime Minister took, that this is a ministry that requires a specialist. And that too, not just a specialist who happens to be a politician, but a specialist who has come recently from that service, who spent a lifetime in that service, knows everything inside out, as somebody who's a practitioner who's working in that. And as a result, what you've seen, it seems to me, is a situation where the foreign minister has been able to hit the ground running in a way that a purely political minister would have perhaps not done it the same.
जराजन्महीनं परानन्दपीनं समाधानलीनं सदैवानदीनं जगज्जन्महेतुं सुरानीककेतुं त्रिलोकैकसेतुं भजेऽहं भजेऽहम् कृताम्नाय गानं खगाधीशयानं विमुक्तेर्निदानं हरारातिमानं स्वभक्तानुकूलं जगद्वृक्षमूलं निरस्तार्थशूलम्.
In India, by February, when we were hit by the pandemic, India had only an import supply of 55,000 PPE suits. We did not have raw material, we did not have machinery, and we had 0 companies. March, when WHO had just pronounced the standards, industry got together with government and said, we do not have a single lab to test it. How do we work? Global supply chains had shut down and PPE suits were at premium. People were literally fighting on every one shipment. What did India do? In 1 month, Indian industry and government turned around 11 labs in the country with high technology. And suddenly, from 0 companies, in just 1.5 months, we went to 1,100 companies. And in 3 months, we became the second largest exporters of PPE suits in the world. We repurposed our skills, our manufacturing base, and we did things that nobody in decades thought possible.
Well, according to some, the plane was also made before the Wright brothers came. And they say it was made in the Vedic ages.
Whether physically they're built or not, we don't have proof for that. Conceptually,
Conceptually, it's about imagination.
Even if you imagine, you must understand the principles in some way as to why something flies. You know, once it happened, a little turtle, with great effort, climbed a tree, went to the edge of a branch and jumped, fell flat. Again up, fell down. 2 birds were sitting on the opposite tree. They were talking and they said, I think it's time we tell him he's adopted. What cannot fly, you cannot make it fly. People thought in detail as to what can fly, what cannot fly. I mean, it is an established fact, they calculate the speed of light. Some individual cannot calculate the speed of light just like that if there was no whole scientific culture around him. He can't know just one scientific fact and not know the other aspects related to it. So this thing about anything Indian beating it down is because half the people, their brains are in Greenwich Mean Time. In India, it's so difficult to get the license because many of these rules were made before Wright brothers came.
Every security threat, whether it is internal or external, has a direct bearing on the ability of Hindus to survive and live in this country with dignity. Almost everything which affects this country in a negative way affects you first because you are the target. You are the intended target. Start putting faith in your community. That is the only way forward. And that spirit of resistance and kshatriya must show in every endeavor, including in representation in legal causes before the highest court of the land, in every court of the land. Start cultivating a vast network of Hindu-minded lawyers, or at the very least competent lawyers who are willing to work, and therefore start pooling your resources to invest in your causes.
क्यों मजबूर किया जाए असुद्दीन ओवैसी जैसे लोगों को भारत मेहता की जय बोलने के? पहले इन्होंने 2 गलतियां की है। पहला गलती यह है कि राष्ट्रवाद और देशभक्ति में इन्होंने फर्क नहीं किया है। देशभक्ति माने मैं इस देश में पैदा हुआ और इस देश को मैं महान देखने चाहता हूँ, ये देशभक्ति होती है और देश की रक्षा करने के लिए मैं खड़ा होऊंगा। राष्ट्रवाद जो है वो है कि ये राष्ट्र प्राचीन राष्ट्र है और इसकी प्राचीन संस्कृति अटूट है, लगातार आती आई है। तो मेरी अस्मिता जो है वो इस देश की हिंदुस्तानी अस्मिता है और यदि मॉडर्न साइंस को हम माने डीएनए एनालिसिस, तो इस देश के सारे मुसलमान के डीएनए और हिंदू की डीएनए एक ही है। इसके माने मुसलमान का पूर्वज हिंदू है, ये इसको स्वीकार करना चाहिए।
Don't think temples are lifeless places. They are our life saviors, culture saviors. Tomorrow, after 50 years or 100 years, if these temples are not protected now, I will tell you what kind of monkey activities our children are going to do. Unless this Maryada is not taught, not experienced, how can you create people like Maryada Purushottamas? Maryada Purushottama is Rama. Our aim is to make a society which is filled with Rama. So when Maryada itself is not taught or Maryada itself is not known, how can you create such a society? And temple act as a source to teach this Maryada. Temple exposes these Maryadas. So temples must be protected. Otherwise, I am telling, it is going to be very, very dangerous for us.